Wofford. I am the TWCA head volleyball coach.
All right, so tell me, Coach, this is your first year as in the head coaching position. You've been at the school for 8 years. You even went to SAM. You were working here on a stipend to begin with, but now this is your time to bring your culture in there. So tell me, what culture do you think you're going to bring? What has your experience entailed to prepare you for this?
Right, so as my first year going to this program, I've been a part of it the past 8 years. I really want to continue to establish the culture of just a competitive culture, but as long as I always tell the girls, like, in the day, be a good human. And so it's very simple, but I want to be competitive. Winning is not always the definition of success, but I want to be successful on and off the court, but I want to make sure that in the day we're being good humans. So.
Yeah, awesome. You do have a very young team. You got maybe 3 sophomores, the rest are freshmen. What's it like working with all those youngins? You got so much youth on this team. So how are you kind of composing it and wanting your sophomores to establish themselves as leaders and the veterans, so to speak?
Right. So I only see it as a positive. It's great because there's so much room for growth and so much room for potential. And so with all these young athletes and these young players, just being able to develop them into fitting into our culture, immersing them into what our program is like. And so with all of that, putting it together and creating just competitive, volleyball-driven, good kids. So.
Absolutely. So tell me, what's your experience been in the game? I know you've been here for 8 years, but what's volleyball been, and how has that impacted your life and made you decide you want to coach it?
So I grew up playing in this area, went to Oak Ridge, went to play college ball, and came back and just couldn't get away from volleyball. And so when I was at SAM finishing up my education degree, I ended up actually applying to be to the head coach at 19. Ended up coaching middle school instead, fell in love with it, and just honestly couldn't leave this place just because the environment is so great, the culture is so great, and it's just a great place to be.
Yes, ma'am. I like the atmosphere here. It's a very campus college, like obviously
Yes.
It's a college preparatory, but it does remind me of like a small college. So
Yes.
What are your expectations for this season? Who do you think your standouts are going to be as year one?
So as I mentioned before, we are super young. So we're in a growing phase, but we have lots of new faces. A few returners, lots of new faces. It's going to be one of those years that it's going to take all 11 that are on this team to contribute to a win. And I think that makes it the sweetest kind of victory, just because when everybody is contributing, everybody's winning. And so I think it's going to take every single one of us.
Well, I definitely wish you the best of luck in your first year. It seems like they have a nice rapport with you, so it should be really interesting to see what happens this year. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right.